Today, we're talking about how the fitness industry actually leads people to mistake comfort for progress. Stick around. Welcome back to the Begin Within Health Show. I'm so thrilled that you are here with me to enjoy this conversation. We're talking about the fitness industry, and I'm speaking from a place of tons of experience. I've been in the fitness industry for a long time and worked with various companies, both as a consultant and as an employee. And I was a personal trainer, I was a manager, I was hiring and training trainers for a long time. And today I want to talk about some of the things that I noticed in the fitness industry, things that we were kind of always trying to fight against, but it was definitely an uphill battle for us. And what I want to do is share lessons that you can take away from my observations that will benefit you on your own health and fitness journey. Now, please understand that I want to talk about the fitness industry not to bash it and not to warn you about scams and gimmicks like maybe I've done before, maybe some others would do now. But instead, I want to share a few things with you that I've noticed from the inside of the industry that I do think will teach powerful lessons for anyone who wants to improve their health. So, little disclaimer there. I appreciate so much the fitness industry, but it is an industry. And as a result, there are some things going on that I kind of want to just make you aware of again so that you can get the lessons for yourself out of this conversation. And if you stick with me all the way to the end, I've got a simple 3-question test. We'll call it a test that you can compare any program, any gym, anything that you're considering to incorporate into your life in order to support your health. It's just 3 questions that you can use to make sure that you don't actually choose something that feels good but doesn't actually help you to move forward. And before we completely dive into this conversation, let me say, as I have in the past certainly alluded to, let me say it very specifically, health is nuanced, it is personal, and it is something that is built over time. The things that we are going to talk about really are just one small area of everything that will contribute to your health. But that's what I want to continue to help you to grasp and understand and take advantage of as you listen to the Begin Within Health Show. So thanks again for being here with me. Let's dig in. Like I said, I've been in the industry a long time. And let me just say this. Most gyms, trainers, fitness businesses, there's no way that they're trying to, by any means, hurt people, manipulate people. They're not evil. They're not scheming. At the start, they want to take care of people. They want to help you. They want to help me. They are designed to scale, to work at scale. And as a result, those aspects that we're going to talk about here today don't, even though they meet the requirements of a business that can scale, they don't always create true behavior change. They answer the business questions or address the business needs, the company's needs, but not the end user's needs. And I want to not just make you aware of them. Like, I'm not a whistleblower here. I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just saying, hey, here are some lessons that you can learn from what I've observed that you can use in your own health and wellness journey. And it's kind of that gap between what works for the business, what works for the end user, that sometimes is murky, sometimes mysterious, sometimes keeping people stuck. Let me get started. Let me walk you through a few examples, and I think you're going to understand exactly what I mean. And the first one is the ultra low cost membership problem. I have seen this one so many times. The companies that I have worked with are definitely not the low cost option, but high value options. The low cost option that I've seen, and it was like just specifically gyms racing to the very bottom of how much can we charge people that they'll be willing to pay monthly without caring, essentially, right? So, and where it ended up getting settled, where it sat once they raced to the bottom, at least around my neighborhood, was $10 a month. And $20 a month, and you could get some extra access to different things at the center. No commitment, cancel anytime. And of course, on the surface, it sounds great. Yeah, yeah. If I've got to join a gym, that's the one that I want, right? I want the one that's cancel anytime, but it's $10 a month. So it doesn't really hurt me much. Low barrier, easy entry, no risk. But here's the truth. Those scalable models only work if people don't show up. Seriously. If everyone with a $10 membership started showing up consistently, you know what would happen. The place would collapse. It would be overcrowded, it'd be understaffed, it would be unmanageable. And of course, all those people would probably go find somebody else to help them with their fitness and their health because no one wants to be in this crowded gym where they can't get access to equipment, etc. The business model, then what I'm telling you, this is the way it works. The business model depends on people paying and then not showing up, paying and then disappearing. Psychologically, something really interesting happens here because the person that joins pays money, obviously, and then when they pay money, they feel relief. They went to that place because they were feeling some feelings. You know what those feelings are. I believe you do because you're here with me. I know what those feelings are. There's some urgency, there's some anxiety, there's some desperation, there's some maybe hopelessness. I can't do this by myself. I need some help. I need to do something about my health, my body weight, my lack of mobility, my lack of strength, whatever it is. I need to do something. I need to do something now. So I'm going to go to the place where it's the cheapest, it's the easiest to get started. And once I get that membership, I get access to that building, I feel good. I feel like I did something, right? But I didn't. I mean, sure, something took place, but if that's a process I went through, I didn't really do anything to improve my health. I didn't make any healthy changes. Nothing that's actually going to make me healthier at the end of the day, right? I didn't change my routine, I didn't change my environment, I didn't change my support system. I just paid money to get permission to change. I paid money to have maybe a stronger intention to change. And of course, the lesson here is not cheap is bad. The lesson is this: if your health investment doesn't create any sense of commitment, it probably won't create any follow through. If it's easy to forget, then it's easy to avoid, right? And it's just interesting, the psychology of the super low cost gym membership. You feel like, oh, you feel some relief. I have that gym membership. And you don't mind because it's only whatever, right? It's only $10 a month. It's not hurting me. $120 a year, just in case I want to do something to improve my health. It's there if I want it. But the gym knows if everybody shows up, we're in trouble. And so the systems that are in place to actually help people to show up at those places are pretty paper thin, non-existent, pretty sketchy at best because they can't afford for everyone to show up. Now, if you fall into that trap, do not despair. Just acknowledge this. If you're going to make a change in the future, make sure that there is a strong sense of commitment and somebody that's going to help you to follow through, because that really does tend to work, to have someone in your corner. Now, here's another one. Here's another common fitness industry thing, and it's pay in full. Pay in full, right? So instead of the monthly membership, now I'm saying, hey, pay for the whole year up front. And that makes sense because a lot of people don't want the regular payment coming out of their account. And what's interesting is that salespeople for the fitness centers are often highly incentivized in order to get all of that up front. Okay. Of course. And that's sales. Again, I am not saying these are bad people. That's the way sales works. I understand you should get commission on what you're selling. And if you bring more money through the door, you should get more of a commission, right? That makes sense. I've done sales. I get it. Now, salespeople being strongly rewarded for that, and that being really the big push, what ends up happening now, right? We already talked about the $10 a month thing. I did something. Now who's helping me follow through? Who's actually helping me use it? The painful contract really encourages people, just pay for it today while you're feeling motivated. Do this whole thing, make this big commitment, and then that's it, right? At least maybe the monthly payment gives you a little poke every month, whereas that annual payment, there it goes, right? And we never used it. We never use the facility. We never use the gym. So again, we feel like we've done something that creates a problem, right? Because we actually haven't done anything that supports us with our help. We found a solution. We found maybe the most economical way to get access to that solution for the next 12 months, 24 months, whatever it is. We lock in. Oh, I'm locked in. This is the place I want to be. We try to take advantage of our feelings of optimism in that moment, but we didn't actually lock in support probably in most cases because motivation fades. It always does. And if nothing actually changes, there are no new action steps. There's not regular exercise, for example, then nothing really changed. And so what's the lesson we could take from this? That motivation changes. Health doesn't fall apart because people don't care about themselves. It doesn't fall apart because the people that were paying to give us gym access don't care about us. It falls apart because motivation drops. And, right, the more money you can pay when your motivation is high, well, that benefits the business. Once again, it does not necessarily benefit you because your motivation is going to go away. And if your motivation was so high that you're willing to make that big financial transaction today, then more than likely a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month down the line, that powerful motivation that was there, it's not there anymore. And of course, if a plan only works when you are pumped up and excited about it, well, then it doesn't actually work. So the takeaway from that one, motivation fades. And respect that as you're making commitments, financial decisions that involve your health and your fitness. How's this going to look when there's no motivation? How's it going to work then? All right, here's another one. Overcomplication. Overcomplication of the process. And we've talked about that, of course, before here on the Begin Within Health show. This one is super important to me because I believe the simpler something is, the more likely it is that it's going to get done. And I want this process, and we've described it many, many times, to be as simple as possible for all of us to continue to improve our health. But often, the fitness industry relies on complexity. I'm talking about advanced programming, constant variation, technical language, understanding how to use equipment, new things every few weeks, right? New exercises, new equipment, new whatever. Here's the truth. Fitness professionals know a lot. They absolutely do. But complexity often gets used as a stand-in for something that's more important, support. And understand the concept of if I'm going to pay for something, I'm going to pay for someone who is an expert at the thing that I'm not an expert at, right? Exercise. And that's fine. And we should. And personal trainers, we should know our stuff. But something is much more important than knowing a whole lot of book knowledge, and that is knowing how to support someone. And also when fitness professionals and fitness industry, fitness businesses, when they overcomplicate fitness, people start to assume that they're the problem, the fitness center is the answer, they've got all the answers to this complex problem. I'm bad at fitness, they're great at it. And then progress starts to feel fragile because it's dependent on someone else. Missing 1 week of a very complex program that stretches out over months and months and months feels catastrophic. Missing 1 week of that. I believe that you shouldn't feel blown away by complicated programming or by how much your personal trainer knows. But you should be blown away by kind, steady support. Because real life doesn't need impressive systems. It needs forgiving systems. It needs some softness to the programming because that's real life. And so the lesson here about complexity is this. If something only works when it's done perfectly, I'll tell you, it does not actually work. It's not going to work. Simple beats impressive. Repeatable beats optimal. And support beats information every single time. All right. That's my one. That's the one right there. That number 3, the overcomplication of fitness. You know, man. All right. Get off my soapbox here. I'm going to move on to another one. It's not entirely my thing, but it's the last one I'm going to talk to you about today. And it is a machine-filled gym. A machine-filled gym. You walk into the big gym and you see these rows and rows of machines, and they're all shapes and sizes, and they're shiny, and they're new, and they look impressive. They look scientific. They look necessary. But fitness professionals, personal trainers, know something that most members of the gyms in which they work don't know. And that is the human body does not require those machines in order to get strong. It requires movement. It requires resistance, consistency. Those are the things that you need. Your personal trainers know that. And actually, if you are a member of a gym and there are personal trainers there that are working with their clients there in the gym, what you'll often see is that they're not using those big, weird-looking machines that are in the center of the building to train their clients. They're probably using free weights, for example. The machines are there. What are they there for? Let me tell you this. Yeah, that was all me. There wasn't a issue with the audio. Let me tell you this. One of the companies I worked with, the goal was take the machines away slowly, give more floor space for actual exercise, and pare down those machines as much as possible. But you know what? The machines are there for. They're there to make the gym look valuable. They're there to make the gym look legitimate. And they're there to make people think that their health and their fitness and their strength require access to all those machines, because where else are you going to get access to all those different machines? And of course, the downside is people start to feel incapable of making this happen on their own. Movement starts to feel technical instead of natural. And improving your health becomes dependent on the location that you're in. So what would you say is the lesson here? The lesson from the big impressive machines that gyms feel like they have to have, but they know they don't need to have. If your health can only improve in one building with special tools, then it's a very fragile thing. And it's probably going to break if it's that fragile, right? Our whole health improvement process is going to break if it's that fragile, if it's dependent on one building with, these special tools. Resilient health can go with you wherever you are, wherever you need to be. So zoom out with me. I'm not saying, again, fitness industry, that it's evil. Understand there's a reason for all these things. The fitness industry has done a lot of good. And again, there's reasons for all these things being in place. But again, I want to highlight the lessons that you can get from these things. The industry makes it easy to start, easy to pay, easy to feel better temporarily, but not always easy to continue, right? And I promised you at the outset that I was going to give you 3 questions that you can compare whatever program, whatever gym, whatever thing that you're going to do in order to improve your health. You can compare it to these 3 questions and have an easy answer to know if it's actually going to benefit you long term or not. I'm going to share those with you in just one moment. But I want to encourage you, if you're looking for easy, if you're looking for something that's not going to upset your life big time and something you can experience right at home getting healthier, check out our 7-day program. You can go to beginwithin.fit/7-day. And what you're going to get access to is a little 5-day course going to help you unlearn some of the things that you think you know about nutrition, but which actually aren't serving you. And you're also going to get access to meeting with a coach, but you'll be in the comfort of your home. All of our personal training takes place on Zoom. We use that app to make this all happen. So if you want 7 days for free, no credit card required, just go over there, beginwithin.fit/7-day, and you can get started. Okay. Now, let me share with you the 3 questions. You can just bounce these off of anything that you want to try, anything that you're going to spend money on, and see how it matches up. Anytime you're considering a gym, a program, a coach, an app, answer these 3 questions. If you need to write them down, write them down. If you need to come on back to this episode, listen to them again. Number 1, here's the question. Does this make follow through easier or harder? Does this make follow through easier or harder? That's question number 1. Think about time, think about location, think about complexity, think about the energy that it requires. If it adds friction, lots of friction to your life, then it also better add lots of support and accountability and guidance, because otherwise that friction is just going to wear you right out. So that's question number 1. Does this make follow through easier? Number 2, does this still work when motivation is low? Because it's going to be. There's going to be plenty of times that it's going to be. If the system depends on excitement, on discipline, on willpower, then it's not going to be there most of the time. Right? It's just not. So does this still work when motivation is low? And maybe along those lines, how is this going to work when my motivation is low? So number 2, does this work when motivation is low? And then number 3, is anyone paying attention if I disappear? Is anyone paying attention if I disappear? If I don't show up, is someone going to reach out to me? Or are they going to be kind of okay with me not being there? Is that how this is all set up? And you'll be able to recognize that just from understanding how the business works or how the program works. This one matters more than most people think. If no one notices you are absent, then I don't think it's going to work long term for most people. So if the answer is no, right, to 2 of those 3 questions, or maybe all 3, does this make follow through easier? Does this work when motivation is low? And is anyone paying attention if I disappear? Then if the answer is no to 2 or more, you're probably paying for comfort. You're doing something that's going to make you comfortable in this moment and not actually change and improve your health long term. And comfort is not, it's not the enemy. Being comfortable is great. That's what we like. But comfort by itself, just like, oh, now I feel better, that doesn't make you healthy. That alone does not make you healthy. So take those 3 questions with you, keep them with you. And even if you're going to go join a gym or get a personal trainer, get involved in a program, or if you do the 7-day program I mentioned earlier and you speak with a Begin Within fitness coach, someone like me, ask those 3 questions. Go ahead and ask them and see how their answers measure up to what you know is going to work best for you. Again, I just want to say this. I've said it a couple times already. The fitness industry doesn't fail because it is bad, because the people running it are evil. If it does fail, it often fails because it is built for scale, not for care, not for long-term care and support. And when you understand that, you can stop blaming yourself for the times that you got the gym membership and you didn't use it. Wink, wink. That's what they want in some cases, right? That's the way it's set up. I shouldn't say that that's what they want. That's the way the business might be set up. So stop blaming yourself and start choosing systems that actually support how humans live, how human brains work. Okay? Now, thank you. I want to thank you so much for being here. If you haven't, please rate and review the show. I love your comments, by the way. Keep those comments coming. We've had some really great conversations over, especially on YouTube, in the comments with the episodes. So your feedback, go ahead. Let's talk about it. Whatever you have to say, I'm happy to listen. I love your comments. Please keep them coming. And if you just want to say hi or let me know that you subscribe to the channel, I appreciate that so much as well. I'm going to talk with you again soon. And in the meantime, remember, your health is personal. Notice what works for you, adjust as needed, and keep taking good care of yourself.